Welcome back, everybody, to WCS America Premier League Group C action, where we are getting ready for the final series of the day. And there is a guy playing in this series, Nate, that even though I'm pretty neutral, I rather wouldn't have liked to see him play in this series. I kind of just want to see him win the group and advance. Hey, actually, I do have good news. My fantasy ESL team is going strong. I had Polt winning this group, so
yeah, I had Polt winning this group too.
Scored myself some points again at ESL Fantasy Gaming. I literally just realized that. I feel a little better about myself now. But we are getting ready. It's going to be a rematch of the first series of the day, and I think even when PvZ is not your favorite matchup to watch, I think that series was really fun to watch. I think game number 1 on Nimbus was entertaining. It was interesting, cool strats being used, cool execution of both builds. Jaedong bringing a pretty unique style to the table with very quick layer and ultralisk, which is not that crazy, but it is kind of weird when you rely on adrenal glands and pathogen glands, and especially after defending a Dark Templar harass. Either way, it should be really fun. We're stoked for it, but you know, Nate, I am a tiny bit worried for Jaedong. I would love to see him make it at least once in the round of 16 or round of 8, because I do want to see the Dong at BlizzCon. I don't think that's weird, right? That's normal.
That's a very natural thing for a person to want.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. How do you feel? What do you think?
Honestly, I'm feeling this series. Jaedong doesn't need to personally change too much up compared to how their matches went earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
But Oz could try to make something crazy happen simply based on the build orders that were chosen by Jaedong in the first series. So on Nimbus in particular, I don't think there's much that Oz can do aggressively. At least off of, like, you know, I don't think he's going to be a cannon rush map, but I've been surprised before. I think this map is actually pretty good for Jaedong. I like Nimbus for Jaedong.
I like Nimbus as well, but I still like the way that Oz played this map earlier today. Either way, both of our players are ready, and now I got promoted to the lobby host, so I can go ahead and fire game number 1 up. The second map is going to be played on Overgrowth once more, so that's the exact same as earlier today. But map number 3, I believe, is going to be played on King Sejong Station this time, so no more merry-go-round. Maybe that counter-attack stroke a little more fear to Ultra.
Yeah.
That was a sick play by Jaedong. It was really cool.
Yeah,
I think either way, whatever he does, whether he fights the army in the middle of the map or he counters like that, it could work. But I guess if he engages the army in the middle of the map, there's always a way, because there's a lot of high ground, low ground, that the force fields are good enough that he ends up losing his units and that Oz doesn't take the damage that he needs. So the counter was brilliant. That happened earlier today. If you missed it, you guys can always check out the VODs. StarCraft2.com/WCS will have links to every single game that you're looking for, pretty much. Or you just go through the Twitch archives. That works. Either way, we're getting ready. We're loaded in. The final series of the day. It's a really big one for Jaedong, who is currently ranked 12 in the WCS ranking. And over here, we're actually looking at our Protoss player first, representing Planet Key Dynamics. He's a very likable character as well. I think they're really good friends, because whenever they come out together to WCS, they always spend the majority of their time together. They, you know, after a big tournament, they like to eat together, they like to drink together. So I think they're pretty good buddies, and I think it pains them to play against each other in such an important series. Either way, this is Oz. Once more representing Planet Key Dynamics, of course, has represented teams like Fnatic and EG in the past.
Yep. He's trying to get back up in this series. Actually, in this season of WCS. His opponent in the top right, the Blue Zerg player representing Evil Geniuses, it is Jaedong, who has shown good results. I mean, he kind of, you know, he always places pretty well in a lot of tournaments that he competes in. I remember seeing him at DreamHack Summer. I believe he was playing at DreamHack Bucharest, made a pretty deep run as well. So he's picked up WCS points from non-WCS tournaments, which, to say the least, is pretty impressive, because those first, second, third, fourth places in WCS, particularly like when you're playing,
so many points.
Yeah, it's a ton of points.
I couldn't agree more. Of course, it's not as bad as last season, because back then you also had the season finals, and just qualifying for that, you know, gave you another so many bonus points. So back then it was really difficult, and no matter how successful Jan was last year, he wasn't able to cut it because so many people got so many bonus points.
So Oz went
those season finals.
Yeah, I have to ask you this, because Oz went Nexus first into Forge, and it's double hash for pool. Is he going to do it?
He can cannon rush. This is a scenario where Oz can cannon rush. Perhaps he looked at the replays as well earlier today while he was waiting. He is going to check. And he will see there is no spawning pool yet. He's going to see the spawning pool go down now. He can cannon rush if he wants to. It's kind of like it's his party. Well, he drops a gateway. He doesn't have to do it, but he can do it. Jim would do it.
I want to see it.
Wiedemans would have already done it.
Wiedemans would have already had 2 cannons ready.
Yeah. Wiedemans would have actually had time to think about building his fort.
Yeah. He starts the pylon. He's going to move the probe back.
You're awesome.
Now the drone. Jaedong smells something fishy. He's like, what's this?
I think it's a fake, but it doesn't have to be a fake. This is a pretty... No, I think he's going to do it. Even when he got the gateway already. There we go. That's one.
One cannon.
If he gets another cannon over here, and then a pylon.
Yeah, things get really awkward. This is actually a really nice place to tuck in a cannon.
Yeah. What an annoying...
But he can get the 3 drones that he needs on top of it. Yeah, he's got more than enough to stop this one from finishing. I don't think Oz is gonna. Yeah, Oz is just gonna cancel this and.
He could have done it though.
Play ball back home.
Very last minute cancel there by Oz. And you know, even though Jaedong loses a lot of mining time, in the end, they're already mining from this base now immediately, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
better than losing your 3rd.
Exactly. This is gonna be a very awkward scenario where Jaedong is gonna mine out his 3rd base before his main. Not something we'll see very often.
How often does... I don't know if that's ever happened to me in a game of StarCraft. I mine out something that's not my main before my... I guess gold bases sometimes if you lift off, but not applicable in this matchup.
So Oz didn't want to go too crazy, didn't want to make too big of an investment into his cannon rush, and he's going to follow it up with a Stargate instead. I like how Jaedong is just ignoring this pylon for now. He's like, well, you can see my drones mining minerals. Not really a big surprise. He made a few safety zerglings, but that is it. From this point on, Jaedong is going to find himself in a really good economic position. He's down 7 workers, but he's going to be able to overtake Oz probably in the next 40 seconds. However, it's really important that Jaedong picks up on this Stargate, Nate, because we all know what oracles do to completely expose mineral lines, or even if there's a single queen is simply not enough to deal with an oracle. You can suicide the oracle, but you can take 10 drones with you to the grave.
Yeah.
That is a trade that I would make.
Let's trade lots of Protoss players are willing to make. I like it.
Yep.
Oracle's on the way.
Still no sport.
So how does he follow this Oracle up, though? Is he going to go to a Void Ray and take a 3rd base? Are we going to see maybe a very fast Robo?
It's often you know, a player preference type of thing, but I think Oz is pretty confident in his late game ability, and I think he should be. He has played a couple of really phenomenal PvZs in the past. Even the final against Jan was pretty good last year. In the semi-final he defeated Revival. If I was him, I would just go up to 3 bases. If I was as good as him, you know.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd be all inning, but I'm no Oz.
If it was me, I would have already GG'd for my 4-gate failing, so.
2 queens over here, so that is enough. Like 2 queens is a lot better than a single queen. And that's actually going to completely deflect this Oracle for now, despite not having a Spore Crawler. So that is really good news for Jaedong, because this could have been so much worse, Nate. Especially because there's almost creep connecting these spaces. Really well done by Jaedong. That could have been so much worse. Not scouting the Stargate early on. And still not taking any damage at all from an Oracle opening. Now his 2nd Oracle is fired up.
Well, this is not normal. I guess he wanted to defend the 3rd with it? Oracles are good versus Zerglings like this.
A single Oracle will get the job done already as well.
Yeah.
Especially with a Void Ray helping out too. Interesting, and I don't really understand the 2nd Oracle, but I am very curious to see where Oz is going to take it.
Maybe he's worried about a lot of Zerglings. I don't know.
Yeah. But I wonder, I guess it doesn't. It's not like the biggest investment in the world, it's just a little uncommon. Avoid.
Yeah.
Hey. I think that was a bug. Because.
Yeah, it totally said there was an Oracle on the production tab, didn't it?
Unless we are like this.
Am I blind?
Unless we. I have no idea what just happened there, guys.
Okay.
I could have swore that there was an Oracle on the production tab, which I just didn't understand. It's only
this is the downfall of our commentary career. I could have. No, swear.
I would bet my firstborn son there was an Oracle on the production tab.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, Void Ray makes a lot more sense, and now we don't have to be confused anymore.
Yeah. I'm still a little frazzled by that. Twilight Council's finishing up. Robotics Bay is on the way, and Blink now being researched. So this is going to set him up for a standard, I think, maybe +2 Blink with Colossus. You can even go Colossus Void Ray. Who knows?
That was a really strange looking Oracle on there. It's like the Oracle pops out and
I
starts
think that's the
shoot-
first time that's ever happened. I'm
Yeah.
still just gonna assume it was a glitch and that my eyes aren't like.
Yeah, but
ruined.
like, why would our both of our eyes be ruined?
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I don't think we're that wrong. Either way, Jaedong is dropping a spy. He's also getting the Roach Run. He's also getting Phalange Glance. He's just basically getting a little bit of everything. He's starting to be pretty rich. Let's take a look at the income tab. It's 66 drones against 65 probes. Now that's actually a really good scenario for a Protoss. Most Protoss players will always sign for that. Now Jaedong is going to try to saturate this fort base. And he will be able to start mining gas from this 7 and 8 extractor. This Oracle is actually finally found a window of opportunity to be annoying. Pick off a few drones.
Yeah. This is an interesting setup because he's gonna move into infestors now just after these upgrades, and we know that Jaedong's not. He's clearly not shy to go swarm hosts as we've seen him do earlier today.
Yeah, this is a really difficult map to make swarm hosts work, though. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just wondering where he's gonna go with ranged upgrades in infestors because the infestor Ling into ultraless play I like, but I don't know. Is he just gonna go
Yeah, good point. Then,
Hydra infestor? Like, I guess Roach Hydra infestor isn't terrible, but it doesn't answer the problem that is the Colossus.
No, you're right. Roach Hydra Infestor is, well, you say not terrible, but I think a maxed out Void Ray player or maxed out Void Ray Colossus player will tell you it's pretty terrible. And I think most Zerg players are going to tell you it's terrible. I think Idra has told us in the past that it's terrible. And we have to respect the Kraken over here. So, I'm not exactly sure either. I'm a little bit confused by Jaedong. It seems a little bit of everything. If he would have just fired up a Hive and would have gone Roach Hydra Viper, I'd have a little bit more. He could go both. He could eventually get Infestors and Vipers. Now then I start to believe again.
He needs a hive first, though.
Yeah.
He hasn't even started it.
And Oz is like, okay, so you're making Roach Hydras? That's what's going on? Roach Hydra Infestor? Well, if that's the case, I'm going to make a second robotics facility. I'm going to chrono boost out as many Colossus as possible, because how are you going to get in range of my Colossus? And I'm actually not sure, guys. I don't really have an answer to it. Maybe Jaedong has. I mean, this attack is hitting pretty quick. Don't get me wrong. Now he fires up the Hive. Okay.
Yeah,
But still, though, the force fields. Nothing breaks force fields over here.
Yeah, extended thermal lance is going to finish up right as this fight begins. The
Jaedong can
Oracle gets
lose
some
a lot
damage in.
over here. Has
Yep.
to be so careful.
Bunch of Zerglings get hit. It's like, yeah, fungal growth is nice, but yeah, you can really try chain fungal this Protoss dead ball to death.
Maybe a couple of.
Oh, the sentries!
Oh my
That's
God.
actually
Okay.
no. Well, then now
Yeah.
you can actually collapse on this if you really wanted to, but I don't think he has enough
No.
forces yet.
He would die. If he would jump on this right now, everything would melt. But he did. He did take out 5 sentries, so it wasn't all for nothing. It could have gone a lot worse there for Jaedong.
I thought it was going to go a lot worse.
Yes. He's still on 190 supply, and he does have this spire. He could fire up the greatest spire. If it's Roach Hydra Corruptor Infestor, I really don't like it.
Yeah, I mean,
Are the Void Rays still alive?
he's like, just build the Corruptors and have
Yeah.
them focus down the Colossus, which is one way to do it, but it's very risky.
Yeah. I don't think it's a very good way to do it either. It's a Wings of Liberty style, and there's a reason why you don't see that style very often anymore. He does have good upgrades. He has 2 upgrades, and with a few Vipers, I definitely believe in Jaedong's chances. But without Vipers, normally you're just not supposed to kill this Protoss. Now he fires up Adrenal Glands. Jaedong's upgrades are all over the board.
Yeah, does he even have any melee upgrades? No. Huh.
And he gets an Ultralisk Cavern.
Okay. I'm not really sure what he wants to do here. I'm not sure if he's sure what he wants to do.
No,
here.
like, I mean, Jaedong is obviously very rich.
Yeah.
So he can do, you can pretty much say whatever you want, but now he's going to have to start worrying about Oz harassing him. Oz is also going to be able to do whatever he wants. Oz gets up to 4 bases. This Spore is going to die. Is the Oracle still alive? No, the Oracle died last fight. However, this Hive Nade is taking some serious damage. And at the same time, there are Zealots ramming away at this fort base of Jaedong. Oh, this one Hydralisk is so important now.
Yep, manages to save the Hive for now. Very important defense, and he's going to need to get a lot of more static defense up here, I feel, in order to hold on to this base, because Oz is another big force moving out. And that pylon did a really good job of harassing on the left side. It's still actually not even been taken down yet, that pylon.
He's just showing this army right now to drag units out of position and then maybe do something with the Swap Prism over here.
I actually really like that.
So no, Jaedong is absolutely getting everything. He's getting a Great Spire, he has the Ultralisk cover, and he's getting Adrenal Glands. Now he's gonna fire up Melee upgrades as well. Okay. You know.
Jaedong just wants all of the upgrades.
Yeah. Somebody make a meme, little Jaedong face on that cartoon character.
Get
all the upgrades. Jaedong has a hidden base over here as well, which I believe has not been scouted yet by us, but I'd like to make a bigger fuss of it than it is. It's not really a big fuss, as Jaedong has 0 workers over there. So, 2 Colossus. He already added 2 more Immortals in his mix. Without Broodlords, you know what Jaedong can do? Jaedong can morph like 12 Spore Crawlers and then make a bunch of Broodlords. Ro32 did this in the Battlegrounds Global Qualifier, like every single game. Every Roach vs Roach fight, well, one player was maxed out on 200 supply Roach and Ro32 was maxed out on 214 supply Roach. And he did win that game, so it was a pretty good move.
And lots of spines on the way for Jaedong.
Yeah, he's
I
think he's gonna cancel. He might actually make him
with no fleet beacon and only that one original Stargate that hasn't been utilized past that Void Ray. Broodlords are actually not that terrible of a choice.
Oz really needs to.
He needs to figure out what the hell's going on in this game.
He drops 2 more Stargates.
Okay.
He really needs to get a fleet beacon. I wonder if he has seen the Broodlords or something, or what's going on. He sees his hidden base. Now Oz is like, man, if only I had free supplies, so I could warp in 10 Zealots.
Yeah. This is...
Hallucinated Phoenix is going to see the wall of spines. He's also going to see all the Broodlords. And now he's like, oh no.
Fleet beacon.
He's like, man, I really need Tempest. Like, I just don't need Tempest. I really, really, really need Tempest, and I need them soon. I need them now. Right now, I don't think there's even enough anti-air. There's 4 Phoenixes. Well, 20 Stalkers is not bad.
Yeah, but with the Fungals, they're going to lock him in place, and then the Broodlords can just start to chip at him.
Oh, the Infestors, though. He can lift them up if he wants.
He throws a Fungal or 2. Now the Broodlords are here. I mean, as long as he can't get directly under him with those Stalkers, he should be fine. Oh, there's the Fungals. He blinked up. The Broodlord still chilling. Storm's actually falling a little bit. I don't think they're hitting too many of the Zerg forces, though. Transfusing the Broodlords. Those Storms are starting to get more. Those feedbacks on the Infestors are doing work.
Yeah, and the Colossus are all still alive. Big warp in now. A lot of Zealots being warped in right below the Queens and the Infestors. There are Spine Crawlers to help out, but above all, there's no more anti-air.
Yeah, he's killed all the anti-air.
Yeah, so the Phoenixes can actually... I mean, there's no Spore Crawler. If I was here, why are you not using your Phoenixes? You could just, like, chip away at these Broodlords. There are a few Infestors left. But I don't think that was all that bad for us. Now he has not died to the Broodlords, and now he can start making Tempest. And, you know, all you need is 3 Tempests to one-shot a Broodlord. So he's going to be A-okay.
He's going into Void Rays, which I guess are also not that terrible.
No, but I would have liked to see him have at least 3 Tempests. But I think he's worried now about an Ultralisk switch. And then I guess he thinks, like, hey, at least the Void Rays are good against both. And I can dig it.
Yeah, I can see why it works.
But I think having just 3 Tempests is definitely not a wrong decision. For my part, he parks them in the back of his base. As long as he have them when he really needs them. Carriers?
What?
I think that's a mistake.
That can't be. That can't be right, silly man making carriers.
No, he's making 2 of them. I mean, carriers are of course not bad, but...
I mean...
even though some pros players would disagree.
They're bad.
I mean, they are strong units and they're hard to kill. Let's keep it at that. They have a lot of HP.
Yeah, well, they're going to be in that production tab for a while because they take about 2 years to build, so...
If Oz is very lucky, these carriers will be ready in game number 3 of this series. They're going to spawn by the time BlizzCon kicks off.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I have enough WCS points for carriers just arrived. I don't know.
These Roaches getting a nice little grapple against these Zealots to defend Jaedong's northwest base.
This is a pretty unique game on Nimbus, Nate. We have a lot of interesting decisions on either side.
Yeah, we haven't really seen people play like this in a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, like, the carries are not bad, but just 3 Tempests, one-shot a Broodlord. So why would you not want to be able to one-shot a Broodlord? Does he have 8 Colossus? That's too many. I think 6 Colossus would have been just fine.
Yeah, 6 would have sufficed. But he's moving the spines down. He's trying to edge closer and closer.
Yeah, more and more Corruptors on the production tab now for Jaedong.
I wonder what Jaedong's going to do when he's... like, I wonder what his reaction is going to be when he sees carriers.
Yeah, I would really like to see Jaedong right now, you know, just more of like 15 Spores. And then... oh, he's going to lose 3 Corruptors immediately. Jaedong miscontrolling his units, loses 2 Corruptors. Here are the carriers.
The carriers do outrange the Infestors, so there's that, but they're still carriers. Oh, the Void Rays are coming in now. The Void Ray flank. This is exactly what he wanted. 5 Void Rays. That's what kills these Broodlords crazy fast. Infested Terrans are going to get thrown out, but...
Jaedong has no army that can fight his Protoss army.
Yeah.
He has nothing that's going to kill the Void Rays.
He's going to remax on Mutas.
Okay. I mean, it's not something I dislike. He doesn't have that much gas. He has gas for 25 Mutalisk, and I know it sounds silly to say he doesn't have that much gas, but a 40 Mutalisk switch is definitely way more intimidating than a 20 Mutalisk switch, but he's still mining 1100 gas a minute. So this Muta switch, Nate, it can actually work. Like 28 Mutalisk is enough to clean up this entire army. You need to fire up any Impulse Crystals, you need to fire up Phoenix production. You have to ask yourself right now, what can I still die to? And then the answer is often Mutalisk.
Yeah. Those Archons, though, if he can keep them with his army.
How many storms we have? We have 3 High Templars. I think none of them have energy for storm.
No energy for storms.
Here is the big Muta switch from Jaedong. He still has a couple of Corruptors left as well. He's still mining a ridiculous amount of gas a minute. And this is the moment where Oz is going to see it. And I don't know what is the correct decision anymore. It's almost too late to win on Phoenix production, I think.
Yeah.
And he needs to get rid of his 8 Colossus. Or how many does he have? He has 5 still, but I think 3 would just do.
Yeah, he's moving in though with these Zerglings and Roaches to pull that Protoss army to the side. The Mutalisks and Corruptors are not looking to engage this army yet though. Now any Impulse Crystal starts up. Yep. Now triple Phoenix production should also kick off.
Yeah, but Oz is maxed out. He needs to free up some supply.
Wow. Yeah, that's really uncomfortable.
He's getting a couple of cannons, but cannons are not going to do it against 40 Mutalisks. Jaedong has bought enough time to get 40 Mutalisk out. I'm starting to like his position, Nate. It won't be easy for the Dong, but like 40 Mutalisk, they can go in, they can be reckless, they can wreak havoc over here. They're gonna work on these Stalkers, they're gonna work on the Void Rays as well. All of these Void Rays are just dying.
Yeah, he's picking them all off. Only 3 remaining, 2 remaining. The Storms, though, hitting their mark. Good. The rest of the Protoss units are going to step up, and of course, every unit that dies, man, Void Rays take so much supply. Now you can build a lot of Phoenix.
And the good thing is, Jaedong also already has Infestors. So even when Oz, gets like 15 to 20 Phoenixes out, it's not necessarily game over, because he's still going to have to be very careful with those Phoenixes, because if they get fungled, man, this is a really bizarre game. Of course, the winner of this series moves on to the round of 16 of WCS America, and it's a really big one for both players, as both players are still in the running to make it to BlizzCon in the end of the year. Jaedong is currently ranked 12. That's a good position, but he needs these points. Oz is currently ranked 22, so a good run in WCS Season 3 can actually just rocket him to BlizzCon as well.
Yeah, very, very important series for both of these players. Cannons going down in Oz's third base. Some probes fallen, and now this third Nexus is pretty much forfeit. That Protoss army is simply not going to be here in time.
And the gas income is so important of this base. This is a massive pickup in so many ways, because Oz doesn't have any gas.
He's broke.
He is actually really broke. Like, if there's one thing that we can criticize Oz for a tiny bit, is that he doesn't take enough additional bases when he's in a good position. He stayed on 3 bases in the previous game on Nimbus when he could have taken a 4th easily, and in this game he did take. Jaedong on the other end, he's just expanding everywhere, and there were times where he couldn't really defend every base against War Prism Arrest, but he still got away with it, and right now he's sitting on that ridiculous income that he has, while Oz is scraping pennies together.
Yep, and now he's just going to move around on top of this army. He's like, yeah, you want to storm? Storm yourself.
Phoenixes are going to clean up, though. There are a couple of Corruptors absorbing a lot of them. The Archons are doing sick damage. Jaedong is losing everything.
Yes, that's I don't know if I've ever seen this
That
many
was reckless.
Mutalisks just die that fast.
Now he's going to make 12 Ultralisk. Oh, God. I mean, I said he could be reckless with his Mutas, but I wasn't sure if I meant like that Kev. Reckless.
That was a lot of Mutalisks to lose in the span of 10 seconds. I love that these carriers are still alive.
This is such a random game.
This game actually makes no sense.
Where are the Infestors? Are they still alive?
You know what? Phoenix aren't particularly good versus Ultralisks last time I checked, so he's got that going for him, which is nice.
Good fungal lens as well. He's going to be able to kill quite a few of these Phoenixes. That's probably going to scare Oz into producing more Phoenixes.
Yep,
not
and
yet,
you don't want to be on creep when the Ultralisks come out.
Look at these 3 Colossus.
3 Colossus harass.
No, you're actually going to need them soon. Oh, these Ultras are oh my, what is happening in this game, Nate?
I don't even know.
These 3 Ultras are just going to die like nothing, like 3 Zealots. That's a really expensive way to harass.
Yeah, not usually good on their own for harass. I think you underestimated.
Now Archons are being chased away in the middle of they're just small clumps of Protoss units fighting small clumps of Ultras.
This is one of the craziest games of StarCraft I've seen in a while. And now he's gonna fight Ultralisk Infestor versus Carrier Archon.
Phoenix.
I love these carriers. They're like, there's no anti-air carriers can be good now. He's killing infestors.
The Phoenixes can actually just kill these infestors now. Like, there are not that many that can get chain fungal. There's not enough on the ground over here. Oh, there are infested Terrans being spawned. That's kind of cute. One carrier might actually die against these infested Terrans.
Yeah, not bad pick-off. Not a bad pick-off at all. Another Nexus starts in the bottom left, but yeah, Oz is going to lose absolutely everything here. GG in a game where we saw it all. Infestor, Broodlord, carriers, Colossi fighting 3v3 against Ultralisks. Hint, Ultralisks win that fight pretty hard.
Oh, that was game number 1 on Nimbus, and I hope that game number 2 and potentially game number 3 is going to be just as fun, as exciting as this one was, because I think I couldn't have said it any better, Nate. This game pretty much had it all. Just looking at everything. Crazy. The statistics of this game make no sense. Jaedong, of course, was so much richer than us. He macroed so much better. But still, normally you don't want to throw away 40-something Mutalisks like that. The switch into all these Ultralisks was a very good one. However, if Oz just sits back on that moment and he keeps everything at one place, that was pretty much Jaedong's last resort as well, even though he was still mining more. But if he wouldn't have done the job with those Ultralisks, it would have been very difficult. But by this time in the game, he did have 3 upgrades on the Ultras as well. He pretty much had everything. So
yeah, that was just a crazy game. We saw pretty much everything that you're really gonna see out of a Protoss versus Zerg. I'm actually cycling the replay. I want to know if it was us.
Yeah, I
want to know if it was us, because I imagine the replay would save information like this. We can't be that crazy.
I mean, it was an Oracle into Void Ray into one more Oracle, right? Or Phoenix.
Yeah.
Now you can fire up.
Now it says Void Ray.
Yeah, no, but that's the first Void Ray. He always had that. You see? This is really weird. All right, we're actually watching this replay right now. And then it popped out as a Void Ray. So it wasn't us, guys. We were not hallucinating. We were not crazy. We have officially found the bug in the beautiful game of StarCraft 2.
Actually, I think the Void Ray just came back, and he canceled the Oracle right as the Void Ray got on top of the Stargate.
Was that it?
That's what it looked like, because he still said he had one Void Ray. So like he actually tricked us into thinking that he built
so it
a
was
Void
not a
Ray
bug.
out of an Oracle.
All right, so now mystery
We actually are blind.
But that's really weird, because the other Void Ray was still on the right top side of the map. I guess he just went over there after that.
Yeah, I honestly, it was.
We will figure it out after the broadcast, guys. For now, the players are ready. I'm gonna make sure Oz is still ready, because he said ready before, but I wasn't the host yet. So Jaedong, yep, Oz says go. Jaedong says go. Game number 2 is going to be played on Overgrowth. Once more early today, Oz was able to win pretty convincingly against the Swarm host style of Jaedong, which I've always felt that Jaedong is a little uneasy with Swarm host. It's just not his unit.
It's not Jaedong's style to be slow and, swarm hosty.
I agree. I would be surprised if we see it again, even though Overgrowth is a pretty good map for Swarm host. Either way, it's good news for all the Jaedong fans out there. And Jaedong himself, of course, that he's currently only 1 map win away from making it to the round of 16 in WCS America for the first time this year. And we're going to find out if Overgrowth is going to be the map that will give Jaedong that also desired ticket to Santa Monica.
That's right. Our first player spawning in the top right. He needs to win 2 games in a row if he wants to make it to the round of 16. And representing Planicky Dynamics, he is Oz. He did not put the pylon in the awkward spot this time.
Yep, he didn't put it over here.
Doesn't feel like a normal pylon spot either, but it's not the awkward spot. And in the bottom left, we have a blue Zerg player representing Evil Geniuses. He is Jaedong. 1 map away from the round of 16. It's been a while since he's been here. I know he wants to come hang out with us in California.
It's pretty much been a year, Nate. It's been a year.
So for this match, on this map, you said Swarm hosts. Yeah, they're not necessarily bad, but Jaedong probably not going to go for him a second time, right? What do you expect? What's good on this map? Is it that heavy Ling Roach play?
I think it depends a lot on what Jaedong sees as well. Look at Jaedong, he's switching things up, by the way. A little bit paranoid. He's been like, yes, I have indeed been very greedy in a couple of the previous games, going double hedge before pool. I think he even did it on Overgrowth earlier today against Oz. Back then, Oz just went Nexus into gate, and he decided not to pressure it, as he followed it up with a Robo, right? He just went up the 3 base. Yeah, he just followed. He followed up with a Forge after that, then got a Gateway, and then went for 1 more base himself.
Yeah, we were talking about it. It was kind of like Puck style.
Yep, exactly.
And even in true Puck style, he we built an infinite number of stalkers.
True that, Nate. True that. So, but still though, Jaedong is like I've poked the beast a couple of times now, and you can only double hatch before pool so many times before you truly get cannon rushed. They didn't want to take the risk. And this is going to be a spawning pool into hatchery now.
There's a lot on the line in this series. No need to do anything overly risky. It's not worth it.
Good point as well. Of course, early today was just the first game of the day. And then you can just kind of be like, I can play like a free mind. Of course, Jaedong did advance to the upper bracket final, where he went up against Polt. If you guys missed it, Polt just pretty much ran over Jaedong. I would love to say that it was the most exciting series of StarCraft we've ever seen, but Polt was just all over the place. And Jaedong was slightly unprepared twice, took a lot of economic damage, and against someone like Polt, you cannot take a lot of economic damage. He will be able to capitalize on any advantage he has.
It's scary to think how much Polt outclassed everybody in this group today. When we kind of talked about it, a lot of people said group of death, and you know, for Max said it certainly was. And this matchup, Jaedong Oz has been good to watch both times today.
Yep.
And I feel like this certainly has lived up to some of the expectations, but man, I feel sorry for whoever has to play Polt moving on to the round of 16.
Yeah, Polt does indeed look very, very scary. So once again, if you're a Polt fan as well, the upcoming week, I believe we start on Friday, probably around afternoon Pacific time. Battlegrounds Global will kick off, and that's going to be an awesome event where Polt will be competing against the likes of Dongray Goose, Solar, Hydra, Impact, and God knows who, Nate.
Yeah, goodness knows. Lots of great StarCraft coming up this week.
And next week, more WCS.
Oh yeah, WCS Europe is going to start soon too, and Code S.
We can watch that on our way to work again.
That's I actually miss having Korean StarCraft to watch on the way to work. It's like, well, there's no StarCraft. What's the point of living?
Alrighty, so take a look at the main base. Jaedong, despite opening up with the spawning pool, Nate, has not dropped any extractors. Oz just went for a 1-gate fast expand. He's getting a sentry now. He has a little bit of chrono boost energy saved up. He's gonna spend it on his Nexus for now. Oz could potentially put on some serious gateway pressure, and I think that would be very difficult for Jaedong to deal with, whether it's 3 or 4 gates, because Jaedong would not have speed in time. He could always drop a Roach Warren and defend with slow roaches, but he doesn't have an essential creep tomb over here. Oz on the other end is just going to go up to 3 bases very quickly once more. That just seems to be more in his ballpark. It seems to be his style. I would really love to see him try some 4-gate pressure, but it's always risky, because what if your opponent does open up with speed?
Yeah, mixing's really tricky. And he's actually killing off a reasonable number of Zerglings here with this little poke. He, of course, would love to kill a queen, but off 1 gateway, while you're taking a 3rd, no less, how much can you really ask for?
Yeah, not too much. Sacrificed the Zealots, forced out a few links, kept Jaedong busy, and above all made sure that he didn't have to worry about silly amounts of units harassing his own 3rd base. But without speed, that would have been very hard for Jaedong to do regardless. Every now and then, you know, once every year, there's always this like small, slow link timing that pops out. In the old days, I remember when I was in Europe, Nurture used to have like this small, slow Zergling counter that actually always did so much work. But it's been a while since we've seen stuff like that, and it would be surprising to see anything like that work in this day and age of StarCraft 2.
Yeah. As Stalker's going to poke away from that 3rd Nexus, which is almost done. And interesting tweet from Felipe Cabarab. So who did I send my medical bill to? Jaedong, Roddy, or Nathan? I think I had about 2 heart attacks in that first game.
Well, definitely not to me, mate.
+1 attack is on the way for Oz. Jaedong's also getting his ranged attack with a Roach Horn. So I feel like we are going to see some of those Roachling play, but instead of seeing him transition into Swarm Host, I'd rather see him use switch this game.
Or just go straight up to Vipers. I really wonder how well a Viper style will do against Oz. I know that a lot of Zergs don't really believe in Roach, Hydra, or Viper, but every now and then you do see some Zerg players get away with it, and you do see that it works. It's a very quick spy this game, Nate, so maybe your wish will be received. You ask, can you show receive? We'll see. It's going to be a tricky spire to scout, in all honesty. Going to see the Roach Warren, going to see the Evolution Chamber. Everything looks very standard so far. Hallucinated Phoenix is making his way towards this 3rd base, and he's going to see the spire.
Yep, very important pickup there. Snide knows. Maybe I want to drop a Stargate. Maybe I want to drop 2 Stargates.
Would actually be really cool if Jaedong. You don't want to do that just yet. You can drop a single Stargate while he fires up air weapons.
+1 air weapons before he even has a Stargate on the map.
But I wouldn't go double Stargate immediately, because what if Jaedong just maxes out on roaches now?
And kills you. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. That's a very realistic threat. He's got a lot of lings on the map. He's got that 4th base coming in. And with that Roach Swarm, anything is possible. The only thing I thought is weird is that he got the Roach Swarm range attack, but he didn't start Roach Speed.
Nope.
Where the Roach Speed at? Double Stargate.
Yeah, also doing exactly what you just said, Nate. And if Jaedong would have had Roach Speed, and he would just max out on roaches now, I don't think it's possible for us to defend. Like, yeah, he can make a few Void Rays, but how many times have we seen roaches kill a Protoss player that's making Void Rays? So far, Oz is hiding all that information as well. He's like gonna have a lot of gateways. He's just gonna defend for now. And above all, he checks the Spire. He sees that the Spire is wiggling. This would be a very, very, very stubborn with the switch for Jaedong. Not only because we know that Oz is very well prepared, and that's something that Jaedong can't know yet. But what we also,
I don't like it. Because
it's been too obvious, man.
Yeah, it's really obvious when you see a Spire and you're like, the Berserk player won't even get Roach. You won't even get Roach Speed.
I wonder what Jaedong does when he sees the Stargates. He doesn't see them yet. He's gonna work on the pylon instead. He could still cancel them. I'm not sure if he would want to do that anyway, but he's gonna unpower the one gate. I won't say the gate.
Well,
he's gonna see double Stargate. So what do? Maybe make Corruptus?
It's like, well, he's already invested in like 15 Mutalisks, so
I would say
you have a lot of options.
I think adding a few Corruptors in the mix would be a very good decision, because I think straight up Mutalisk. Oh, look at this Mothership code. That's a very nice pickup. That's
Green
no
Mama.
Photon Overcharge. That actually helps out a lot, Nate.
Yeah, you can try to go for this Gateway army with his Zerglings as well, because he's still got Lings in the natural mineral line, ravaging these probes. Suddenly, Jaedong is still getting a lot of damage done, even if he trades away a lot of these Mutalisks.
No more force fields over here, so Zerglings jumping on top of the sockets as well. There is Blink, though. Finally, the Zerglings in the main did get cleaned up, but the ones in the natural did so much damage that Oz is just gonna tap out.
I'm really surprised. Like, that run-by did everything. He completely set him up. It frazzled Oz enough that he ran his Mothership core
into
back
the middle of the army.
Into Mutalisks. No Photon Overcharge to help with those Stalkers out. And then, losing a Warp in, losing some income because he had nothing there because the Zerglings got into all his bases. I'm really surprised how fast this game ended.
That I don't think should have happened. That run-by, that looked annoying, but that definitely didn't look like a game-ending run-by, if anything.
No.
No, but losing a Mothership core is a very big deal, and above all, it seemed like Oz was all over the place. He was slowly but steadily falling apart, and yeah, he lost a lot of probes in the natural, but normally a Protoss on 3 bases, even if you lose 20 workers against Mutalisk, you're still going to try to hang in there, because, especially if you have 2 Stargates already. But Oz just said, like, nope, not today. Too many Zerglings, too many Roaches. I mean, it would have been really hard for him to stabilize at that 3rd base and still worry about his own natural, but surprised how quickly that escalated. But that's, of course, very good news for Jaedong, where it looked on paper, it looked a little tricky, Nate, but Jaedong has done it. He made it out of a very difficult group, and Jaedong will secure himself additional WCS points, and above all, he will still be in the running for so much more. And we get to welcome him to our brand new ESL studio, because Jaedong hasn't seen it yet. Jaedong hasn't been here yet, Nate.
Jaedong gets to come down to Burbank and hang out with us, of course. We'll have more information on how you guys can come watch Round of 16 live as that comes closer. But that concludes another group of WCS America Premier League Round of 32. We have finished up 3 groups now. We have a lot more groups to come. As you guys can see, we've got a pretty cool group coming up tomorrow, too.
Yeah, tomorrow should be super fun, as we have our reigning champion Pig Baby going up against Czech, Illusion, and a new-faced Shana. Shana is a Chinese Protoss player who brought out Protoss Styles in a PvP series in Challenger against Crank that I thought would never ever work. Like, if you would have asked me before the attack, like, hey Roddy, I give you 5-1 odds that this attack is going to work, I would always take it, Nate, because those attacks were not supposed to work. But Shana, the crazy Chinese Protoss, made it work. It's going to be super fun to watch Chris Illusion Lee play, as he's of course representing Root for Root. And Czech is a very strong Zerg player as well, made it to the round of 16 last season. Later this week, we're going to also have the very fun group between Violet, Revival, Hawk, and our youngest player in WCS America, Arium. So it should be fun. There's so much more StarCraft to look forward to. And above all, I think a lot of people are very happy to see fan favorites like Polt and Jaedong make it out of today's very, very stacked group.
Yeah, exciting stuff all around. Exciting stuff all around, getting ready for the round of 16 as players continue to advance, of course. Thank you all for the tweets that you've been sending us today, too. Remind you, of course, you have to tweet about tomorrow's matches. You can reach out to us. Hashtag WCS. Some of you had some pretty good tweets today. We had some
Yeah.
good chuckles in between the games. And those of you who apparently like to listen to WCS radio broadcast. Hopefully the commentary suits that environment reasonably well enough for you guys.
It's been a lot of fun. Make sure to give StarCraft a follow, twitter.com/StarCraft, and of course like him on Facebook, and the same for ESL. So that's pretty much going to do it for us. But of course, we'll be back. We'll actually be back tomorrow, so we can take a look at the upcoming broadcast, because GSL Codes is starting soon as well, guys. Look at those names, Nate. That is going to happen at 2 a.m. Pacific tonight. Is that correct?
No, it's
Wednesday,
it's
August the 6th.
So,
Okay, it's a few days away.
I was about to say, I thought I was going to be able to watch GSL tonight, but I guess not.
I guess tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night I can watch GSL.
Yeah, tomorrow night it is.
Mm.
But if you watch it tomorrow night, Nate, how are you going to ever wake up in time? Maybe you should just save the VODs for the morning when we drive to work.
Find a way.
You'll find a way. Either way, that's going to happen at 2 a.m. Pacific. And of course, tomorrow we'll be back at 12 Hawaii time, because I actually got a tweet, guys. I had one tweet from a very loyal Hawaii StarCraft 2 fan. He's like, "Hey, Roddy, thanks for always mentioning the Hawaii times in all the upcoming broadcasts." So that really made my day yesterday. I get happy about the smallest things in life. So tomorrow, noon Hawaii time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and midnight European time, we will be back with our with a new day of WCS America action, and we'll see our reigning champion in action as Big Baby will go up against Illusion, Shana, and Czech. That should be fun, Nate. I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be a cool group for sure, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. But that's all from us here today at the ESL Studios in Burbank, California. You've been watching WCS America Premier League. We'll see you tomorrow.